Good evening, everybody. Welcome to your Manchester United video. In today's show, we are doing the Balls Ruled press conference reaction for the Tottenham Hotspur game, and I'm doing player ratings as well for last night's game. On the what is it? Oh yeah, last night's game, the FC20 game. Sorry, I forgot what I was saying there for a second. So, yeah, basically, press conference reactions to the Tottenham game and FC20 player ratings is what I'm going to be doing tonight. Big up to every single one of you live and locked in this evening. Much appreciated. Good evening to you, Adam Partridge. How are you doing this evening, mate? Thank you for joining me this evening. Hi, mate. Good to see you, mate. United all the way. Bosh! United all the way indeed. Come on. Let's go. And also, we may react to a couple more YouTubers as well. I am probably not going to stream as long tonight like what I did last night, 4 hours and 52 minutes and 46 seconds. Yeah, that was a long stream I did last night. Absolutely unreal work rate, honestly. So, yeah, let's get started with the press conference reaction. Let's see if there's been any more banger mash waffle being spoken about by the Balls Ruled today. Yep, we got it up already. So we got the YouTube app up, but let's quickly go on the Manchester Evening News. Good evening, Mr. Good evening, Aidan Cox. How are you doing, mate? Thank you for joining me this evening. Much appreciated. Right. Press conference reaction. Here we go. That sounds like Manchester Evening News. Where is it? Here we go. Every word. Yeah, I'm good, thanks, mate. Yeah, very well, thank you. Unbelievable work rate by me this week, honestly. It's been. I broke my single longest streaming record a couple of days ago. Then I beat it again like in the early hours of this morning. Unbelievable. Manchester United manager Balls Ruled will speak to media accounts in this afternoon to look ahead to Sunday's Premier League encounter with Tottenham Hotspur at Old Trafford. United drew 1-1 with FC20 in their Europa League opener last night, meaning they will head into the clash with the Londoners without a win in their last two games. Sam Lemers cancelled out Christian Eriksen's opener to ensure the points were shared. Although the stalemate did extend United's unbeaten run in all competition scored matches, their performance was worthy criticism. It was the worst they had served up since 3-0 defeat to Liverpool prior to the international break. It was once again a case of United taking 2 sets back, having recently taken 1 forward. Balls Ruled was furious with his side accusing them of being complacent and lacking commitment. Right. Let's get the narrative right here, yeah? Maybe you are the one who's part of the issue, yeah? Not the players, you. You picking the right team and your substitutions have been a disgrace recently, an absolute disgrace. This is not Manchester United standards. It's as simple as that. Having me a cup of tea with you on YouTube. Bosh! Getting like what you do, mate. Big up to you the last night, mate. Bosh! Are you annoyed you haven't won in 2 games? Of course I am, Hayden Cox, because it's not Manchester United's standards. It's as simple as that. Hang on, where is it? Oh, fuck's sake. What bit are we on now? he will no doubt be asked to reflect on the performance once again when he faces the media later on. Right, okay, right, that's that bit done. So let's get on to the reaction now. That's an ad.
Just reflecting on not only what's last game. What is wrong with your team that gets you to produce matches like that? And we spoke last night about Christian and you saying it wasn't good enough. But what is the problem at the moment with your team?
Maybe you're just not good enough to manage this football club, mate. You know, a simple question what the journalist is asking him, but he's probably not going to get a straightforward answer, is he? Anyway, let's carry on.
Not scoring goals, of not scoring goals enough.
Facts, not scoring goals enough. Well, maybe it's your training methods then if the players are not scoring enough goals.
That is that's the problem. It's the key area. You have to score more goals. As a team, I think we have players across the team who have the abilities to score. But that's clear. You see all the opportunities we are creating. We're not scoring enough.
So you've got Tottenham this weekend. First of all, anybody going to be available that wasn't last night, or any knocks?
No, I don't think so. I think it will be the same squad as yesterday.
What are you expecting from the matches? Obviously, there's peaks and troughs in every season, but it feels like a win would be an important shot in the arm at this stage. And what are you expecting from Tottenham?
I think it will be a very intensive game. But it's always against Tottenham, and it is, I think, also it's our style as well. So I think it's going to be a very dynamic, attractive game.
Eric, talking about scoring goals being a big issue, how do you solve that? Is that as simple as personnel, or is it something that has to be on the training pitch? I mean, how do you see that?
Both, and you always work into a season and to.
Right, maybe train your players better, yeah? Let's get the narrative right here, people.
You have to build it. That structures in defending, structures in possession, of course, you start with the build up. I think we have the structures there quite right. We across, I think almost all the games, we have more possession as the opponent. But then it's about what are you doing with your possession. And I think we bring the ball into the final third. We bring the ball even into the box a lot. But now we have to take more advantage, more benefit from it.
Richard. Eric, Ange Postecoglou has talked about the philosophy side, having attacking teams, being positive. In this moment, this situation, given what you've said about your squad, your players, does that help you at all in the way you set up and approach this game?
That is, of course, it's every opponent have strengths and weaknesses.
Our weaknesses, mate, is literally not being consistent enough in both halves. You know, first half we may be good, then second half absolutely horse as shit. But you're literally telling the team to sit back and defend. So you are part of the problem. The ball's ruled. Get out my football club.
And they have the strengths, definitely. In the philosophy, very clear, very attacking, but that leaves also space. But that is what they take into account. And that can help, but you have to be very good against Tottenham. And if you want to control the game, then you need again a high performance level, and then we will create again. I'm sure, but then take your chances.
Neil,
Eric, you're in your third season now. How can it be that the team can come from a game and say that they didn't try as much as the opposition wanted it more?
I mean, that's a joke by starters. Here for 3 years and he still doesn't fucking know what his best team is. It's like, what are we doing here, people? Real talk, what the fuck are we doing? Anyway, let's carry on.
I think every team has this in a season, and that is when you play 60 games, and then sure there will be games where you are not happy, of course, with the performance, but you are not happy where opponent wants more. I think that is also always the psychologically side of football and top football, what takes part, and where any team is more hungry than the other, and that the team who can manage this the best, of course, they are the most successful, and we are ambitious, so you always demand from yourself and that you are the more hungry as your opponent.
So you think your team needs to be?
Well, that's the one aim, isn't it? Literally, to be more hungry, get the better your opponents. Yeah, literally, that should be the bar we set. Get the better the opposition. Big up, Mr. Joshy J. Trust the process, as Bulldog says. Definitely needs more time. Oh dear me, dear me. Anyway, let's carry on.
We should be. That is what we demand from each other, and that is that we have to bring in on a consistent base, and that is what we are striving for. Successful teams has this.
Josh has had a few chances this season. His link-up play has been very good, but there's this. I think it was Ronald Koeman who said he's more for 9.5. Do you think that he can become a prolific goal scorer for Manchester United?
Yes, I do, and it's sure. He's young, and we see his great abilities. He's
to get your house professional. Your free design appointment now.
Very good link-up player, as you say. He's creative. He's creating chances, but be fair. Also, he has his absolutely also his moments towards the goal from the opposition. Yesterday as well, I think it was a great action he had with a great finish as well. It was top save from the keeper. But in that area he can definitely improve. But we know that on forehand he has some very good attribute, and also some attributes he has to improve, and there he needs our support how to improve.
Hi Eric, just following on from Neil's question, you've been here 2 full seasons now. You've had 5 transfer windows. I think the spend has been about 600 million. Given all that, are the fans of Manchester United not entitled to feel the team should be further forward than you currently are?
Yes, of course we are entitled to want the team to do better, because that's what us fans want. You know, me as a fan for 25 years, I know for sure the way we've been performing is nowhere near sustainable. So I want action immediately.
Playing with more consistency. Are they not entitled to feel that?
I think you have to assess then the situation, and still now we are working and we are in progress. We have to sign players.
Progress? What progress? Yeah. Now, what progress? I haven't seen any progress whatsoever. More Biner and Mashwaffle Binus manager. Honestly, what the fuck are we doing here?
So we made the choice to sign very young players, like last year Holland, like this year Sirkzee, like Lenny Yoro, that are players who have we believe in them now in this moment, but also for the future, and we have to build them. And and when I started, we spoke about more, and we had to made the switch there in the dressing room. And I think we turned the corner. And now we have to work with the squad. And
We turned the corner. No. Why is it we have lost like a couple Premier League games already? Big up Brian CFC. Good evening to you, mate. And big up to Michael Chelsea FC as well. Yeah, I hope you're well. I hope your day's going good and that. Just seeing the ball trawled press conference reaction. More banger mash waffle by his manager. Honestly, he's just said we are progressing. Progressing to what? Progressing to what? Yeah? Tell me what we're progressing. Because I'm yet to see the progress this season. I mean, defensively we're better, but other areas and that, not much has changed. Oh, good evening to you, Daniel Knight 14. You appearing from nowhere now. But good evening to you. How are you? I hope you're well. I hope your day's going good. Anyway, we're nearing the end of this press conference reaction now. So, and like I said a bit later, I'm going to do player ratings for last night's game. So we'll carry on listening to this, and then I'm going to do my player ratings.
And that takes time. And of course, I'm also...
Time for what? Time for what? Yeah? You don't need any time in football. Football is a professional business. If you're not up to it, then get out of here. It's as simple as that. Get the fuck out of here. I think Manchester United will lose on Sunday because of Ball's rules. More than likely, mate.
It's not a good behavior for me. I'm impatient. I want to go straight forward, but I'll also be fair. We also had success in the last 2 seasons. And again, we have to work very hard to bring another success.
I was going to say, do the fans have to be more patient then? Is that your message? Because some of them, understandably, or maybe not understandably.
No, we want to see action. Telling us to try and remain patient. No, we want to see action immediately. Let's get the narrative right here. Yeah? Because by my elite, high standards, I demand action from my football club right now.
Are losing patience and want to see the team further forward, challenging the top of the Premier League and playing with greater consistency. Do they need to be more patient or?
But you have also...
Yes, that is where literally Manchester United should be, competing for Premier League titles. Let's get the narrative right here, yeah? That is what I grew up Manchester United doing when I fallen in love with this football club. But then you're a glory hunter then, Mr. Joshy J. No, I started supporting Manchester United because of my granddad, because he's a Manchester United fan. I was sitting down watching football with him, and that's how my journey started supporting Manchester United.
To be fair, I say it again, that is, we won 2 trophies the last 2 seasons. And we want also this season, we are ambitious, don't get us wrong. And we want to win another one. And we want to be as high as possible. And we go in every game, and we will go for winning the game. Doesn't matter who the opponent is.
Eric, Bruno Fernandes is the one that sort of stays out there for the most of the game.
Just you wait until I get onto his racing a bit later on. Just you bloody wait.
The entirety of the game. But is he at all fatigued by the start of the season? It seems like he's not quite at the levels that we've seen of him previously.
I think...
Fatigued? That fucking journalist making up that excuse. Try and make out that he's fatigued. What the fuck are we doing here? Get out of here. Honestly, what banger mash waffle is that journalist talking about? Seriously. I don't see ball troll to last in this season. No, I don't. I don't, Daniel 914.
I think the team brings him now in a situation, and I think he is capable of, and I think he has proven this so many years already in the Premier League that he can create many chances. And I'm convinced he will this season he will not do differently, and he will come on this point that he will find his form, and he will. He's already creating chances, but he will make final passes. He will score goals, 100%, and that's just a matter of time.
Okay, right. Usual Bayern mash waffle there, honestly. You and nice. Did you have nice for your tea tonight? Yes, I had a pasta meal. I had chicken and bacon pasta meal from Lidl's. Very nice, lovely. I enjoyed that. I do like pasta meals, so very nice. Yeah, usual Bayern mash waffle. Finance manager, honestly, an absolute joke and a disgrace, man. It's a joke, guys. I feel embarrassed, guys, honestly. But, you know, just you wait until I get on to number 8's rating. Ho, ho, ho. You have no idea what's about to hit him, what I'm going to say in that. But, yeah, here we go. There we go. Bruno Fernandes 10, obviously. Get out of here. What are we doing here? but there's no one better out there right now. The ball trolled is the best for Man United right now. There's rumours that Ineos are interested in bringing Ole Gunnar Solskjaer back, but to me, I think that's a load of bollocks. But one thing's for sure, I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's football was much more exciting than what the Bulls Rules was. The Bulls Rules football is absolutely atrocious, honestly. Ollie was a lot more exciting, but I honestly don't think he would be the one, you know, to win us a Premier League title or say Champions League or something like that. No chance, you know. But you know, we should have won the Europa League, and we bottled it under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Ollie at the wheel. Oh, just imagine he comes back. Oh, we'll have to listen to that video in a bit. But yeah, I mainly want to get on to last night's player ratings because obviously this is what I'm going to do in tonight's video as well, do player ratings. I don't want him back at United, mate. Do you? No, we need an elite manager, a top elite manager like Thomas Tuchel, Don Carlo Ancelotti, someone like that. Ollie at the wheel. Chelsea going to finish above Manchester United this season, and you will win nothing. I mean, high possibility. Just depends how long we keep this ball ruled in at the end of the day, isn't it? But yeah, let's get on to player ratings from last night for the FC20 game. Now, if you're new to our player rating videos, what I do is I give the starting 11 a rating, the substitutes a rating, the bold ruled a rating for his team selection, and the team a rating for their performances during the whole game. Now, if you like my ratings, great. Not then, I'm not bothered one bit because I am back for the next game against Tottenham Hotspur. So, right, let's start off with the goalkeeper, Andre Onana. Andre Onana, I am going to give him a solid 6. Now, a lot of Manchester United fans are being super critical of Andre Onana. They thought he could have done better saving the shots, you know, what SC20 scored. But the problem is there's no fucking defender around. So what more was Onana meant to do about that? Some fans are saying his positioning could have been slightly better, but I'm struggling to wrap my head around what more could he have done, because there's no Man United player in sight. They had all the time in the world to shoot, and that's how they got it past him. So I'm going to give him a 6. Mascherari, I'm going to give him a 7. I thought he's absolutely superb. Honestly, what a performance. His positioning was spot on, defended brilliantly, and like I said, he's had a very, very impressive start to his Manchester United career. First of all, I was a bit sceptical about him, but the more I seen him play, the more he's grown on me. So keep up the good work, Mascherari, but I'm not getting too giddy about him just yet, because, it could all go south at the end of the day, couldn't it? But be more positive, Mr. Joshy J. Oh, get in the bin, yeah. Seriously, get in the bin. Mason Mount 10, legendary so far. Okay, Michael Chelsea FC. Good one, mate. Good one. Good one. Good evening to you, Lewis. How are you this evening, mate? Thank you for joining me this evening. I hope you're well. I hope your day's gone good. Yes, I'm very well. Thank you. Just doing player ratings for last night's Manchester United game. Yeah, so that's why I'm going to give Mascherari a 7. Harry Maguire, I'm going to give him a 6. I mean, oh my goodness me. I didn't think he had the best game, but I don't think he had the worst game ever. But I am surprised that we didn't start De Ligt, to be honest. I was expecting De Ligt to start, but for some reason, the ball trolled decided to go for Harry Maguire. Can you get some graphics of your Manchester United player ratings? Not right now, I'm afraid, but I can look into it for a future stream, that's for sure. Spuds win 3-0. Mr. Is the GOAT. 3. Oh, that is harsh, Daniel Knight. 3. I mean, maybe you could argue and say his positioning should have been better for like the goal and that, Harry Maguire, but 3, that's a little harsh, I'm not going to lie. On to Lisandro Martinez. Lisandro Martinez, I'm going to give him... Actually, I'm going to mark him down because he made a silly foul yet again and lunged in unnecessarily. So I'm going to give Lisandro Martinez a 5 because he's really got to cut down on this, lunging into these stupid challenges. It's nowhere near sustainable. Honestly, what are you doing, Lisandro Martinez? Real talk, what are you doing? Stop lunging in, making silly challenges, yeah? Let's get the narrative right here. You are holding this football club back by lunging into these stupid challenges. Get out of here. What are we doing here, man? Sort your shit out. Diego Dalot, I'm going to give him a average 6, really. I mean, defending was absolutely fantastic, but when he's played out of position, he got caught out. But that's not on him. That's on the bald fraud. The bald fraud has to take responsibility for that. He really does. Maxwell's being out in Napoli. He scored tonight. I agree. 6, spot on. Thank you, Lewis. Appreciate that, mate. 5.5. But yeah, Diego Dalot 6 for him. I agree. Yeah. So, like I said, not his fault. Manager playing him out of position in the second half. So, yeah, so I'm going to give him a 6. On to Christian Eriksen. Christian Eriksen, I'm going to give him I was going to give him a 7, but I got to mark him down by 1 because he did make a mistake in the second half, which allowed SC20 to score. So to take that into consideration, I'm going to give him a 6. I mean, that goal he scored was outstanding, but so frustrating he made that mistake at the back. But that's not all on him. The defenders have to take accountability as well. So does the bald ruled for his team selection. Honestly, what on earth was the bald ruled doing? The captain number 8 score, he is finished. But Mr. Joshua J mistakes is harsh to lowers. I mean, look, if he didn't make that error, no doubt about it, I would have given him a 7 or maybe even an 8. But because he did make that error, unfortunately, I'm going to have to mark him down because, you have to be honest about it. So, yes, that's why I'm giving Ericsson a 6. Ahmed Diallo, I'm going to give him a 7. I thought he had another very good game. And to me, so far this season, he's been a positive. He really has, doing a fantastic job, So, yeah, that's why I'm going to give him a 7 for Ahmad. On to who should we do next? Oh, yeah, the captain. Number 8. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Now, he has had an absolutely horrific start to the season. There is no hiding place for the captain. Number 8. Number 8, your rating is a 3. Absolutely abysmal. And once again, the bald fraud didn't take him off. What on earth is this manager thinking, honestly, to not take him off? It's absolutely ridiculous. Just drop him, yeah? He's playing absolutely shit recently. He needs to be dropped. Who's your highest rated player? So far, the ones I gave for 7, it's Ahmad. Ahmad, Masharari. Yeah, so far. But yeah, the captain needs to sort himself out. This is nowhere near good enough. This is not Manchester United's standards. His performances have been a joke and a disgrace, honestly. On to, Manuel Ugarte. Manuel Ugarte, I'm going to give him a 6. Again, I don't think he had the best of the game, but he certainly wasn't the worst player out on the pitch. But Rants and Bants are saying he's an absolute scrub. I mean, what are we doing here? Already you're calling him a scrub and he's only been here for a few games. That's absolutely ridiculous, honestly. Maybe if he carried on struggling, then that's a different argument. But to say he's not good enough already, I mean, Rants and Bants is entitled to his own opinion, but, I think that's super harsh to call him a scrub already, Manuel Ugarte. But anyway, I'll give him a 6. On to number 10. His rating is going to be a solid 6 as well. Look, first half, I thought he's absolutely superb. His movement looks comfortable. He looks confident. But then second half, anomalous, honestly. Harsh words from Rants and Banter. Yes, it is. I agree. Hayden Cox, completely agree, mate. Nowhere for him to hide. The captain in the spotlight. Absolutely, Lewis. You're spot on, mate. But yeah, number 10, decent in the first half, but second half, anomalous. So 6, I'm going to give him. Joshua Sirski, I'm going to give Joshua Sirski a solid 6 as well. I thought his movement was quite good. I thought he could have done a little bit better with his opportunities, but the work rate was there from Joshua Sirski. So fair play to him, yeah. At least he's trying, but you know, rants and pants for a reason. Yeah, to say that about your Grati already, when I reacted to that last night, I was like, what the fuck? You're saying he's a scrub already? Nah, get out of here. What are we doing here, people? But yeah, so Sirski 6, Lisi tried. Let's get on to substitutions. On to Rasmus Hoyland, I'll give him a 6. Garnacho, I'll give him a 7 as well. I thought he did very well when he came on. And the remaining subs, they can get a 6 as well. On to the Bulls ruled for the team selection. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. Now, the team's performance. Now, this is going to be an interesting one. First half, we looked very comfortable, creating chances and that. But then second half, absolutely shit because the manager told us to sit back. So to take that into consideration, the team's rating is a 5 out of 10. Look, it's not all the players' fault, it's the Bulls' fault. So that's why I'm giving him a 5 out of 10, the team rating, because our substitutions were absolutely abysmal. Honestly, I don't get what this manager is thinking with his substitutions. It's just not sustainable, man. Really isn't. It's like, come on, people. What are we doing here? Real talk, what are we doing here? But it's crazy. Absolutely crazy. But big up to every single one of you live and locks in this evening. While you are watching live, make sure you're liking, sharing, and subscribing to this YouTube channel, as I do plenty of Manchester United content. And please subscribe as well to my Mr. Joshy J Football channel and Mr. Joshy J F1 channel. My football channel content is coming, but I've been so busy doing Manchester United videos recently, I've just not really had the time to post on my football channel. Because at the end of the day, this is my main channel. So out of my F1 channel and football channel, this one has to take top priority at the end of the day. It really does. So, yeah. But like I say, if you like these ratings, great. Not then, I'm not bothered one bit because I'm back for the Tottenham Hotspur game anyway. So, right. But why are you calling him the Bulls ruled? You must back him. No, thank you, Michael.Chelsea FC. I am trusting my own process. I'm not going along with, trust the process and that. No, I'm trusting my own process. I'm going down my own lane. It's like, fuck the process, yeah? You all know that it's a PR bollocks stunt to try and spin the narrative on these fans and that, so that the fan base stay on good terms and that. Nah, it's not going to work with me. I go out the bollocks in this football club. Honestly, I hold my football club accountable. Let's have a listen to what Christian Eriksen said, because he spoke after the game, didn't he? Eriksen post-match interview. And he was honest as well, taking accountability for his mistake. Eriksen post-match interview. Here we go.
When you have diarrhea, what's going on there?
Okay, shut up, Anna.
First of all,
Back interviewing him from the United stand. Anyway, let's have a listen.
great goal. Unfortunately, it couldn't end up with a win for Manchester United. But you've started the last 4 games under Erik ten Hag after there was rumours you were going to leave Manchester United in the summer. How are you feeling at the start of the season? Are you feeling ready to go and are you happy with your performances?
No, I think like I've seen, I'm scoring a few more goals and feeling a bit more important, of course, and getting my minutes, which I'm very pleased with. Obviously, again, I've always been fit and available, and it's up to the manager to choose who's going to play. We have a lot of good players, and you try to do your thing to stay in the team. And obviously now the focus I can play a few games, and then it's you do your best to stay in.
And then Erik ten Hag, we've seen him play you as an 8, we've seen him play you as a 10. For you in your personal game, where do you prefer playing and where do you think is your best place in the team?
No, I play where the manager wants. I think it's different games. I think on some games there's more space as an 8. Sometimes there's more space as a 10. I think it depends on the opponent, depends on the game. But like I said, depends wherever the manager puts me down, I'm able to play.
Ah, interesting. The shrinking highlights will be all upset that you are calling him the Bulls rules. Oh, who cares, Michael? Who cares? Generally do not care. It's like if these fans like it, great. If not, then cry. I don't care. Here we go. Let's watch this video now. See what they're saying about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Because apparently he's rumoured to be linked to a return to the football club. I mean, just imagine. It's Beth. Lonzy isn't gold, Fish. Yeah, we'll watch this because Beth, it'd be interesting to see what she has to say.
Back to the United Stand is the Thursday night 8 p.m. show, and we have a show for you tonight. So get a cup of tea, get a beer, get a glass of wine, whatever your beverage of choice is, and buckle in. Make sure you're interactive in the chat. Get your votes in the polls because there is big news coming out of Manchester United. And it's Ten Hag. Honestly, with Erik ten Hag now, we're at the point where it is make or break. 3 games to save his job, in my opinion. There's news coming out on Erik ten Hag, and will he still?
Facts, the next 3 games is going to be a testing point whether the Bulls ruled saves his job or not. If we lose to Spurs and Villa, that should be, get the fuck out of here, take your P45, and let's bring someone else in.
Be Manchester United manager in the October international break. These 3 games are going to be absolutely massive for Erik ten Hag. Do you think he should be? Are we on a sinking ship with him as manager? Or, like Erik ten Hag says,
of course we're on a sinking ship. Honestly, the performances have been nowhere near good enough.
Do we need patience and do we need to wait for the project? This is a rebuild. He's been speaking in his press conference. All of Eric's.
I can't believe he said that. Literally, that the fans have to be patient. That no, we want action. We're Manchester United Football Club at the end of the day. Ball trolled if holding the team back. Tuchel is not coming.
Quotes coming in. We're going to speak about them, talking about calling for patience, talking about investing into young players that aren't quite ready yet, which is why we're not at the point that we should be, but also speaking about Bruno Fernandes, backing Joshua Zirkzee as well. Loads of interesting stuff coming out from Erik ten Hag. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has been speaking and said he would...
Yeah, I quite like her, to be honest, Michael. Yeah, I quite like that.
The age of 7. To start a new one, talk to us today.
Trust the process and all that crap.
Family-sized meals in 15 minutes.
Come back to be Manchester United manager, asked if he would want to come back to Manchester United and be the manager, and says yes, he would. Goldbridge himself has messaged me and says, if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer becomes Manchester United manager again, he feels like he would have to leave the United stand and just quit altogether. What do you make of that? We're going
to... What? So if you bring Ole Gunnar Solskjaer back, Goldbridge is going to quit, is he? Okay, good one. Again, that's more PR bollocks coming from Goldfish. Surely he's doing it as a prank.
Up and running as well. Also, Ineos set a plan to win the title in 2028. A lot of people say
2028. I think that might be a bit over ambitious. Maybe 2030 is the realistic target or something, but we're not winning the Premier League title anytime soon, people. Let's get the narrative right here.
Why do we not want to compete for it before then? But is even 2028 too ambitious, considering the situation Manchester United are in now?
Yes, I think so. I think that's way ambitious.
And is Eric Ten Hag the guy to get Manchester United there in, 4 years' time? Will Manchester United really be winning a Premier League title with the competition that is in the league? Ineos don't have time to waste, and how long will Ineos settle for mediocrity? Because that is exactly what we've got at the moment. Going to bring you all the details on that. Also, got some stuff I wanted to bring in about Joshua.
Thank you. Mediocrity. Yes, mediocrity is happening at our football club. Manchester is always blue. Get out of here. Goldfish loves its brown envelope. Too much for that. Yeah, I agree.
Manuel Ugarte, Eric Ten Hag. I'm becoming more and more frustrated with him. I don't think he knows who his best players are. I don't think he knows.
See, even Mbappe is starting to lose patience with the ball ruled. Goldfish is yet to know
how to impact games the way that you would like a Manchester United manager to do so. And it's worrying me. So I want to get your comments on that and sort of bring my comments in on that as well. Loads to talk about. And at the end, if we have time, I'm going to do a little Manchester United combined 11 with Tottenham Hotspur, considering we face them on Sunday. So get all your comments in down below, and we've got loads to get into. So straight away, let's get into the Barada and Ineos plan to win the Premier League title in 2028. So it is coming out from Laurie Whitwell in The Athletic that Manchester United Chief Executive Omar Barada has told staff.
The Athletic, what a load of banger mash waffle they talk about. I wouldn't trust that source to run me fucking hot bath, to be honest.
The aim is to win the Premier League title in 2028 for the 150th anniversary of the club being formed. Omar Barada addressed Manchester United employees during a meeting at Old Trafford last Wednesday and mapped out the ambitions shared by Sir Jim Ratcliffe and the football hierarchy. Barada informed staff of the Project 150, so-called because it coincides with a major milestone of Manchester United's existence. So the plan from Sir Jim Ratcliffe, Omar Barada and Ineos is to win the Premier League title in 2028. Are Manchester United capable of doing that?
At the moment, no. It's going to need a massive transformation for that to happen. Honestly, if they want to stick to their targets, you need to get your ownership out and fans should go and protest.
Your comments in down below. And is Eric Ten Hag the manager to get Manchester United there? I was having this discussion.
No, obviously not. No chance. There is no way that the Bulls ruled is capable enough to win me a Premier League title. Let's get the narrative right here, people. Let's fucking have it right.
With Ricky before. Me and Ricky, we've been talking all day because, after that performance last night, it was a horror show, let's be honest. We should not be drawing that game with FC20.
Facts. It was a horror show. It was unacceptable for Man United Football Club's standards. Let's get the narrative right here.
And we just looked nowhere near it. And
oh, fucking that hurts, man.
Elton went from barely surviving to love.
Ricky was saying to me that he thinks Ruud van Nistelrooy is going to be the next manager of Manchester United. He said that Sir Jim Ratcliffe.
Maybe an caretaker manager or something, but permanent manager, no. I honestly don't think he'll be the right guy. Again, I loved him as a player, but he's not the right guy to take Manchester United to the next levels.
Ineos, obviously very, very ambitious, getting the stadium up and running, investing into Carrington, putting a lot of staff in place behind the scenes that are at the top level, that are highly competent to run a top football club that is aiming to be winning trophies year on year. That's the type of figures that they're putting in place behind the scenes at Manchester United. And the only one that's really still there is Eric Ten Hag. And he thinks in the summer, Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos were going around interviewing coaches to potentially replace Eric Ten Hag. And they found their guy, and they thought it was Ruud van Nistelrooy. So they've brought him in to work with Eric Ten Hag, figure out stuff behind the scenes, work with the players, get settled in, and eventually Eric Ten Hag will depart and Ruud van Nistelrooy will come in. Get your comments in about that. That's Ricky's sort of, that's his thoughts behind it. But
Ruud van Nistelrooy is a club legend, okay, but managing Manchester United, I cannot see it working out. Maybe only temporarily put him in charge until we find a new permanent manager. But to give him the permanent job, I think it would be a car crash waiting to happen. But Mr. Joshy J, why are you rolling out Ruud van Nistelrooy? Even before he's been considered as being the next Manchester United manager? Because I know for sure that it will not work out. Same as I've known for a while. This manager is not good enough to manage Manchester United. Ricky rated Matic and Martial highly. Just back the process. Get out of here.
one thing I would say I agree with him on, because I'm not sure if that's the case with Ruud van Nistelrooy, time will tell. I do think if Eric Ten Hag is sacked, he'll definitely become interim manager. I do think that will happen, but I don't think it was the plan all along to put Ruud van Nistelrooy in place, but maybe you guys do. But what I do agree with Ricky on is that Omar Barada, Ineos, everyone they've got there, and the team that they've got, and Sir Jim Ratcliffe, they are going to be impatient. They do want to win things, and they don't have time to mess about. I mean, no disrespect to Sir Jim Ratcliffe, not at all. I'm very happy with what he's done so far and his leadership so far, and the leadership team he's put in place and the ambition he showed. I'm very, very...
Yes, Ineos are trying to make improvements, but can they do better still? Of course they can. Will I call them out if they mess up? Of course I will. Because that's what being a passionate fan does. You hold your team accountable. You hold your owners accountable.
With it, but no disrespect to him, but he's not exactly a spring chicken, is it? It's not as if he's got years upon years upon years to wait for Manchester United. He wants to see Manchester United be successful. And how long do you wait? How long do you give a project time? And how long do you settle for mediocrity? Eric Ten Hag this season, he has to provide results. Of course, on the pitch, you want to see progression. Are we seeing progression? That's a massive debate. But you have to see results. And if Omar Barada and Ineos and Sir Jim Ratcliffe and the whole team they've got in place feel like Manchester United should be winning the Premier League title in 2028, and that is their aim, that's 4 years. That's 4 years' time. Because if you think about it, this season actually is the 24-25 season. Then it's the 25-26 season, the 27-28 season. So it's basically 3 seasons, isn't it? It's 3 seasons. We finished 8th last year.
At the moment, I gotta say, no chance that we're winning the Premier League title in 3 seasons. More like, I said realistically before, it would take 7 or 8, and I stick by it as well. Go for Southgate, eat your guy, get out of here.
Have just done their predicted table for this season based on the results so far, and they've got Manchester United down to finish 8th again. Now that cannot happen. I think we've all agreed that Manchester United have to be getting in the top 4 this season. It looks very, very unlikely at the moment. So if their plan is to win the title in 2028, and Eric Ten Hag's been speaking in his press conference about this project and about how it's going to take time because of young players, but he's also getting impatient, are we at the point where we're going to be winning the title in 2028? Because if you think about it, this year, we're absolutely not. Miracles happen next year, you're competing within the top 4. The year after that, you need, definitely with Manchester City.
I know what I know. What do I know? Everything. I don't know exactly how.
In the Premier League, if they're still firing the way that they're firing, if Pep's still manager and they don't get charged with the 115 that is all up in the air right now, it is a huge, huge task to knock Manchester City off the top spot, let alone thinking about Arsenal, Liverpool, Aston Villa, Newcastle, Tottenham Hotspur, all them other teams. So it's a
So many other teams are leveled above us at the moment. But you got the Glazers to thank for this. They have absolutely screwed us over in this past decade or so. Nowhere near sustainable on a standards of Man United's football club.
huge ask for Manchester United and for Ineos. It shouldn't be, because that's where our standards should be, and we should have that ambition to win the league title every year. But if you look at where the squad is now, and you
Facts, absolute facts. Manchester United should be competing for Premier League titles every season. All right, you may not win it every season, but at least give it a go, yeah? The way the standards has been lowered in this football club is a disgrace.
be realistic about it. Do you think in 3 seasons' time, Manchester United will be ready to win a Premier League title? At the moment, I'd have to say, absolutely not. Things have to change very, very, very quickly. But get all your comments in down below. I'm going to talk about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I'm going to talk about Erik ten Hag. Will he survive past the October international break in a second as well? Already got some super chats coming in. And if you're wondering why it's not Kev, I think he's in Switzerland right now. Don't go and hunt him down. Don't want to reveal his location. Switzerland's a big country. But he's on his holidays and he'll be back soon, but he's on his holidays. So I am filling in for Kev. I'm also missing him as well. Kev, legendary Thursday night shows. But I'm filling in. So everyone get in the comments and get interactive, because I'm really looking for a top show tonight. We've got so much to get into. We've got Mike Kamara in with a super chat. Thank you very much. Z3 Music Official says we've only won one of 9 games in Europe. We've only won 1. Yep, that is a terrible start for Erik ten Hag and Manchester United. 1 win in last 9 European games. Benny Custard says maybe Erik.
Bloody disgusting. That is not Man United Football Club's standards.
Ten Hag will get sacked regardless of if he's good enough. Our attacking options aren't on par with Villa, Spurs, and maybe even Newcastle. I've got that lined up in the show as well. Do we overhype our forward players? Are they really as good as what we think they are? Kay Get It says getting Ollie back would be idiotic. LMP22 says Ten Hag called Ruud to come to United. He agrees with with what Ten Hag is doing, so wouldn't be different if he stepped in. Arteta had some embarrassing losses. Remember, in Europe, we've only drawn a game. That's what I replied back to Ricky. I said apparently Erik ten Hag was the one who called.
Good evening to you, Kai. When's Goldfish crying by any chance? Good evening to you, F1 fans, CFC 1985. I just watched this show an hour ago. Beth is alright, but has limited knowledge. I mean, that's fair, but I actually think she makes some really good points, actually. But that's favouritism, Mr. Joshy J. Gallon here.
Ruud van Nistelrooy to come to Manchester United. I don't think you can read too much into the stories that come out about that. Whatever happens with Ruud van Nistelrooy happens with Ruud van Nistelrooy. Whether he becomes interim manager if Erik ten Hag gets sacked or not, time will tell. I think he will. I don't think it was always planned for him to be permanent manager. I don't think so. But also it might well have been. We don't know. But what I will say is, saying we've only drawn a game, this start of the season has not been good enough. And when you can't draw against FC20 at home if you're Manchester United, it just can't be done. Especially when you've only won 1 in the last 9 European games. It's a build-up. It's not just a blip. It is a build-up of poor performances and bad results that warrant this reaction. Ronnie Dodge says, Sir Jim wants a new stadium. He isn't going to wait. Exactly. He's definitely not going to wait. And now I'm thinking about it. So let's go through the seasons together. Don't want to spend ages on this, but Project 150 want to win the Premier League title in 2028. So, that'd be May 2028. So that'd be the 27-28 season. We're now in the 24-25 season. This season's all about competing for top 4. Me personally, where do I think we'll finish this season? Based on what I've seen so.
Oh, top 4 is a trophy, this and that. No, competing for Premier League titles should be our target. Oh, top 4 is good, this and that. What? What do you get for finishing top 4 if you don't win a trophy? Oh yeah, you still lost, but except you qualify for the Champions League. But fans getting giddy about a top 4 finish. Oh, top 4 to gain this and that. Nah, I'm done with that bollocks. And my aim is to win Premier League titles. That is my standards. It's as simple as that. It's better to look at compared to goldfish.
I think it'll be 6th, if I'm being honest with you, which isn't good enough, and we can talk about the standards. But I think it'll be 5th or 6th for Manchester United this season. Next season, you think top 4. That'll be the
5th and 6th, I agree. You know, realistically, that's where I think we'll finish.
25-26 season. And that would mean the season after that, 26-27, you really want to be going to the knife edge with whoever's at the top of the table then, Man City, Arsenal. You want to be hunting them down. And then you're going to have to be winning it in 27-28. I mean, Erik ten Hag speaks about the project and young players and progression. You're going to need to see
projects. What projects? You've fucking been here for 3 seasons and you're yet to win. Like, know what your team is. Yes, you've won a couple domestic cups and that, but to still not know your best team after 3 seasons, it's like, what are we doing here? Seriously, 5th or 6th is being nice. 4th place is a trophy for Arsenal fans. So facts, absolute facts.
a lot of progression from what we're seeing now within that time. You know, it's not long in football that I don't see it happening, but I think that just shows the ambition of Ineos, Omar Barada, and the team that they've got in place. These are footballing people that know what it takes to win and want to win. Obviously, Sergio Ratcliffe isn't.
At least we got footballing people in charge now, and like Ed Woodward, Richard Arnold, John Murtough, who were absolute clowns at this football club. Let's have the narrative right here. They literally lowered our standards. So did the Glazers as well. They lowered our standards. Fucking disgusting, man, honestly.
You know, somebody that's been in football, but he's employed people who have. Omar Barada has had massive success. Dan Ashworth, very well known within the industry and is best in class. And Jason Wilcox, another absolutely brilliant appointment. Jean-Claude Blanc, a brilliant appointment. They've got a team there behind the scenes that don't want to wait around, are very, very ambitious, and are not going to settle for mediocrity. Therefore, Erik ten Hag, things have to improve, and they have to improve quickly. And that brings me on to my next point. And this is just come in from Simon Stone. He was speaking on 5 Live Sport, and Simon Stone was saying, it is unlikely that Erik ten Hag is sacked at the next international break, but Ineos's hand could be forced.
I agree. You know, yeah. Fuck off, Snake. A good appointment. I can understand why you're seeing Hayden Cox, because he left your football club to come to our football club, Jason Wilcox.
If results don't improve. Southgate is only linked because he has a good relationship with Sir Dave Brailsford. Unlikely that he will be the manager if Ten Hag is sacked. Well, the last bit is music to my ears, because the last thing you want is Gareth Southgate being manager. I mean, with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer on the side.
Oh no, not waistcoat wanker, please. No. We are finished as an elite football club if we get him. Done, dusted. Good night.
And thumbnail, we're going to speak about that in a second, his quotes, and a lot of people wanting Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to come back as Manchester United manager, and whether you guys would want that. My opinions on that as well, bring in a bit of Goldbridge's thoughts, but I'd 100% rather Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as Manchester United manager than Gareth Southgate. That just cannot happen. So that's good news coming in from Simon Stone, and very, very good source. That very unlikely that Southgate will become Manchester United manager if Ten Hag is sacked. It's just rumours because of his relationship with Brailsford, which is good to know. Let's keep the relationship.
Fucking adverts.
In the Dream Stock clearance sale, there's massive savings on a wide range of beds and mattresses.
Yes,
Not
get out of here.
within football, please, and especially not within Manchester United. But the bit, it is unlikely Ten Hag is sacked at the next international break, but hand could be forced if results don't improve. I mean, that's football, isn't it? That's football. You know, if results don't improve, the hand will be forced. You know, you can't have Manchester United losing or dropping as many points as what we are doing so far in the season. And we can't have that continuing. Obviously, Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos, they don't want to sack Eric Ten Hag, although there is a big rumour that I've been told, and it's purely a rumour, that they are not 100% sold on Eric Ten Hag, and any sort of thing going wrong could trigger them to sack him and pull the trigger on Eric Ten Hag being Manchester United manager. But the way I look at it, and just looking at it from the outside in, without reading into rumours or anything like that, just kind of looking at the situation, why would they want to sack him? They chose to stick with him in the summer when they had that.
Because he won the FA Cup. That's why they decided to stick with him. Hi, Josh, mate. I'm back, mate. Oh, welcome back, Adam.
Decision to make, and they were publicly interviewing other managers. Eric Ten Hag got to keep his veto within transfers, but they worked together, but he got to keep his veto. You know, they negotiated a contract. They've brought in Ruud van Nistelrooy, Rennie Harker, a goalkeeper coach to help Eric Ten Hag out. You know, they've backed him in terms of signings. They've spent a lot of money. They've spent a lot of money on his coaching staff. And also, it'd cost them a great deal to sack Eric Ten Hag. And not only that, you have public comments.
And also his obsession as well, signing ex-Ajax players as well. I mean, to me, that's not a good look.
From Omar Barada and Dan Ashworth before the Liverpool game, speaking about how much they back Eric Ten Hag, they see him as the manager for the project. Why would they suddenly want to U-turn on that? Of course, they don't want to sack Eric Ten Hag. I don't think they would. It'd cost them a lot of money. We're already, leaking money left.
Yeah, I do. I think she talks a lot of sense in that. I haven't always agreed with everything she says, but I do think Beth does make a few good points. Adam, I really do.
Right and centre. We've all seen the reported losses that are coming in. And, we've been reassured we're not going to be in breach of financial fair play or PSR, but there's over 100 million of losses for Manchester United. The new stadium project is up and running. We're investing a shed loads of money into Carrington. The new stadium's going to cost a lot of money, which is why Sir Jim Ratcliffe is calling for public investment and government investment from Keir Starmer.
You'll be lucky, won't you, if you get money from the government? I mean, what are we doing here? She's good looking, to be honest. Yeah, she is.
Government. Why would they want to then add on top of that and sack Eric Ten Hag and have to pay him out? And, we don't know the exact sum they'd have to pay Eric Ten Hag out, but it is thought that it's...
Of course, it'd be a lot more than what it was before, because they gave him an extension, didn't they? But that's not the fans' problem. It's Ineos's problem, that.
It's in double figures. So they're not going to want to sack Eric Ten Hag. I think they do want it to work out. But also at the same time, it's not like the past where money drives the decisions of Ineos. I don't think it is. This is a passion project. Of course, they are looking at the financials. They are looking at the money side of things. That's why there's been cutbacks. That's why there's been redundancies. That's why, there's things happening at Manchester United where there has been a few raised eyebrows about, not everybody getting to go down to Wembley for the FA Cup final, whatever you think about that. There has been cutbacks in terms of costs at Manchester United. But also, I've been told multiple times, this is a passion project for Sir Jim Ratcliffe, and he wants to win, and he doesn't have all the time in the world to wait. So I do think they want it to work out with Eric Ten Hag. I do think they made the decision to keep Eric Ten Hag and to back him with transfers, back him with his coaching staff. But if things don't go right, they are going to be forced into pulling the trigger and sacking him. And these next 3 games, are so vitally important for Eric Ten Hag. I genuinely think it could be 3 games to save his job. And I don't want to make it a massive drama. But that's just how I look at it.
No, you're not making it a massive drama. You're being realistic. You're 100% being realistic. I do not want manager Man United. I don't know what manager Man United will get, mate. I mean, as long as it's a top level elite manager, that's good enough for me.
You've got Spurs at home, you've got Porto away, and you've got Aston Villa away. They have very tough games. I think if you lose 2 of them, you are in trouble.
Or maybe even all 3. But just be more positive, Mr. Joshy J. It's called being a realistic fan, okay? Literally, I've seen it this past decade or so, so nowhere near sustainable.
Silly. I mean, I think I'm looking at it and I think, what's worse? Because Porto away, you've drawn to FC20. You don't want to have a really bad start to your European run, especially after what happened in the Champions League last year. It was a complete embarrassment. Then also, we've not got enough points in the Premier League. Spurs, they're playing good football, but they've not got as many points as they should have done at this point in the season. Questions will be raised if we can't get a result against them at Old Trafford. Aston Villa away, I know we beat them last season away, but our away form under Eric Ten Hag has not been good. 3 massively tough games, and their hand might be forced. And should it be forced if we don't get the results that Manchester United warrant in them games? I mean,
of course they fucking should, because where we are in the Premier League is nowhere near sustainable. In 11th place, what are we doing here? Seriously, real talk, what the fuck are we doing? Radcliffe hasn't got all the time in the world to wait. Where is he going then?
Get in the comments down below what you think. And, who would they go and get? Would they put Ruud van Nistelrooy in charge on an interim basis? I mean, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has been talking about having the job back, and people are really speaking positively about that. Do you know what? While I move into the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer segment of the show, let's run a poll. Would you want Ole Gunnar?
Literally, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's football was a lot more exciting than what the bald ruled is. But if you want to go to the next level, I honestly believe deep down in my heart that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will not be the right one to take the team forward. Yes, he did very well as a caretaker manager. We gave him the job, but then it kind of went south for him a little bit. Then he was slowly getting back on track again. But in the end, he just wasn't the right man for the job.
Solskjaer back at Manchester United, and get your comments in on that. I would love to hear your opinions, because I've got my opinions on this, but I'd like to hear yours, because, I was looking online, and of course you can't just take what you see on Twitter as gospel. But I'd seen so many people on Twitter today saying, bring Ole back. Ole's better than Ten Hag. I'd be open to having Ole Gunnar Solskjaer back. So let's run a poll on that and see what you guys think. I mean, the quote.
Oh, fucking hell. Would you go on the United stand, mate? No.
From Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, which is why it's on the title, why it's in the thumbnail. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, manager links. He got asked, would you take the job to be Manchester United manager? And this is what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had to say. He said, if your family needs you, you would. Of course, you want to help out. I would say yes any day of the week. It feels wrong to sit here talking about jobs that belong to other people. But of course, yes, I would say yes. So Ole Gunnar Solskjaer there, very firm.
I mean, don't do it, because it will only make you stressed out. Look how tired it made you look before managing Manchester United. It is so stressful. Why would you not go on the United stand? I would not go on the United stand too, mate. I'm with you, mate. Absolutely not. No chance. Because I know brown envelope, and if I went on that channel, if I was being sponsored and that, I would lose my pay because I wouldn't be allowed my own opinion, even on my own YouTube channel and that. So no, I will not be going on the United stand. And Beth has even created her own YouTube channel. So is she looking for a future away from the United stand? Because I do watch her own YouTube channel.
That he would come back to Manchester United in a heartbeat. Says if your family's in need, you go and help them out. You know, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has a very special place in my heart as a player and as a manager. I wanted it to work out so badly with him. I gave him probably a lot more time than what I would have done with a lot of other managers.
Oh, same. I gave Ole Gunnar Solskjaer a lot more time than what I gave the ball trawled. You know, I was ball trawled down much quicker than what I was with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I don't want Ole back at United, mate. I mean, we just got to move past that and bring in an elite manager who is willing to take us to the next level.
I always want to back the manager of Manchester United. That's how I've been brought up. That's how I've been brought up going to games. You know, I understand people that do go early on managers and not thinking they're good enough. I understand different people work in different ways. There's a lot about standards. I understand about not wanting Manchester United to win every single year. And if that's not happening, I understand you being frustrated with that. But I like to support the manager. I like to back the manager. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had my full backing. I had a soft spot for him. He seems like the loveliest guy. There was some amazing results under him. And I was so
He was, and he didn't do PR either. Not one bit did he do PR. You don't do PR, and that's why you don't not go on. Thanks, Hayden. Watch Egal YouTube channel today, and will you subscribe to him, or do you think he is deluded? I mean, he's fully Arteta in, and Lee Gunner is Arteta out. I don't want Potter United, mate. Oh, no chance. Graham Potter, no thank you. Absolutely not, mate.
at certain points of his project. But to put it short and sweet, there is no way we should be going back for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, in my opinion. There is no way. But get your comments in the poll. I have a little bit more to say on this.
I agree. It's time to move on from that.
I want to bring in some super chats before I do that. Patrick says, Ollie was a manager, never a coach. McKenna was, and Carrick. That's a big point. Ollie said himself, he wasn't a training ground manager. He had coaches in Carrick and McKenna to do so. McKenna has gone on to do brilliantly well at Ipswich. Whether he can keep them up in the Premier League is yet to be seen. They've not had the greatest start, but it's a very, very tough job on his hands. And he did excellently well in the Championship with them. And a lot of people respect him very highly as a good coach now. So we had McKenna there at the time. Michael Carrick, another coach that's doing really well in the Championship. Ollie had them there to help him. So that's a really good point. Patrick also says, not getting in the new Champions League will cost them more. Really good point. Really good point.
More hurts. But yeah, I 100% agree. If we don't get in the Champions League, we will lose out on so much more money than before with this new format. When Tuchel got sacked, I did not want Potter at Chelsea, and he's still getting paid. Fellow manager Man United should go all out for. I'm a big fan of his, mate. What do you think? I mean, the problem was at Arsenal, he didn't have his own players ready. He had a lot of Arsene Wenger's team, where that Arsenal team was on the decline, and that if he was given a bit more time, it would have been interesting to see where Arsenal would have ended up. It really would have. But would I take him? I mean, would he take us to the next level, though? But certainly would be a better option than many other options out there.
They'll want the money from the Champions League. It's huge loss for Manchester United not to get in the Champions League. And how about not even getting Europe? We're projected to come 8th so far based this season. I don't think we will, but I think we will at least get Europa League. But that's not good enough. We have to get Champions League. And I mean, I have us down to win the Europa League, and I still think we will win it, by the way. I'm not going to backtrack on that just after one performance against FC20. But that's looking more difficult now. I mean, I know Erik ten Hag didn't have a good record in the Champions League, but my oh my, didn't think it'd transpire into the Europa League. And anyway, but that's a really good point from Patrick, not getting in the new Champions League. The amount of money that would be lost off that in terms of the manager and how much it'd cost to sack Erik ten Hag. It's a good point. Shahin says, do you think Ten Hag was on board with Ruud joining? Interesting question, because it was always said that Erik ten Hag called Ruud and asked him to come and be part of the coaching staff. But I don't know if I necessarily believe it was orchestrated by Erik ten Hag, to be honest with you. I know they are both Dutch and they will have known of each other, but I do think Ineos probably had a big hand in Ruud van Nistelrooy coming to Manchester United, and Erik ten Hag probably got told, what to think about Ruud coming, and I think that's what happened. I don't think Erik ten Hag went to Ineos and said, you know what, I don't want Mitchell van der Gaag anymore, who's been my right-hand man for years on end. I'm very, very good friends with, and I want to go for Ruud van Nistelrooy, the PSV manager. I don't think that happened. I personally, and this is just my opinion, I think Ineos went after Ruud van Nistelrooy. They seen what he's...
That wouldn't surprise me, actually. That Ineos went for Ruud van Nistelrooy, because obviously they're trying to improve Manchester United, and they must see some positives in Ruud van Nistelrooy. Would you have Marco Silva over Ball Trolls, mate? I mean, I can't answer that one really, but he's decent. Difficult one to answer, really.
PSV, they thought it'd be someone good to bring in, and they potentially thought, eventually in the future he could be a manager for Manchester United. And they thought, let's pitch this idea to Erik ten Hag. They got him on board. Ruud van Nistelrooy came in. I don't think Ruud van Nistelrooy leaves a job as first team manager at PSV to join Manchester United with no prospect of eventually moving up into that manager role. I don't think that happens. So I do think it was Ineos who orchestrated Ruud van Nistelrooy coming to Manchester United. Whether he will eventually be permanent manager for Manchester United, whether you think he is the right guy to do that, that's yet to be seen. And I don't think we're going to cross that bridge yet. Who knows after the next 3 fixtures? But I do think it was Ineos that orchestrated that, because Erik ten Hag didn't just turn around and was like, you know what, get rid of my backroom staff and let's bring in new backroom staff. I don't think that happened. But one thing I have been told, because when you're in these press conferences and, you're in these press areas, you do hear a bit of stuff. One thing I have been told is that apparently Ruud van Nistelrooy...
I mean, I wouldn't mind Ruud van Nistelrooy to steady the ship and that, but for him to be permanent manager, no, we cannot let that happen, man. If we give him the permanent manager job, I say he'll do well for a season or so, then it will all go south for him at his sakes. I think it will be Tuchel next at Man United. What do you think, mate? That would be my number one choice, 100%. I've wanted Tuchel for a little while now.
He's been an excellent addition in terms of getting Erik ten Hag's message across to the players and bridging that gap. Because obviously, he is very passionate.
Getting unlimited.
Southgate isn't able, just saying. Good evening to you, Tom. Oh, no, thank you, mate. No, thank you.
He demands that respect of the dressing room because of what he's done in the United shirt before. He understands Erik ten Hag's vision, understands Erik ten Hag's plans for Manchester United, and apparently, communicating them to the players, it's bridged that gap a bit. That is what I have been told. So obviously that's a massive, massive positive. By the way, we are going to get onto some positives of this season. It's not all doom and gloom, and there has been progression, but I want to ask you if you think that's enough, but we're going to get into that in the next section of the show. United One says, how long left do you think Erik ten Hag has at the post? Honestly, I thought he was going to last the season at least, but I think these next 3 games are so tough. So tough. They shouldn't be, As Manchester United, you shouldn't be looking at Spurs at home, Porto away, and Aston Villa away and saying, oh, that's a really tough run, that. You shouldn't be. But based on the way that we've performed so far this season, I've got to say it is.
Of course, you shouldn't be looking at it as our top fixtures. I mean, we're Manchester United, for fuck's sakes. Mbappe out for the Madrid derby geezer. Oh dear. Is he injured, is he? Is he picked up an injury for Real Madrid or something? Because I know Real Madrid won their last game. You think Beth good looking, mate? I do. Yeah. Goldfish doesn't want Tuchel, so that is not happening. He is in his third season. How can he still have problems communicating? His English hasn't improved since he arrived. And this is another issue, Tom. He still doesn't know his best teammate. Honestly, it's a disgrace, mate. Honestly.
So I think Ten Hag could be in trouble after them 3 games. I'm going to be honest with you. I think getting to each international break is going to be a slog for him this season if things don't improve rapidly. So I hope they do. I want him to succeed, but I have my question marks over it that I'm going to bring in a second as well. Patrick says our XG difference is 19th in the EPL. Is this improvement? Going to get onto that. And Ronnie Dodge, I've done that one. And Hayden says Erik ten Hag needs to master his gameplay first with his best starting 11 before focusing on rotation and disrupting the progress. Master the strategy first, then incorporate player rotation. Hayden, I completely agree with you. But I don't think Erik ten Hag even knows his best 11 himself. Don't think he knows his best attack. Don't think he knows his best midfield. I think he's just...
Facts. He's been here for 3 seasons and he still doesn't know his best team. It's like, what are we doing here? Goldfish doesn't want Tuchel, so that's not going to happen. And what he says goes. I mean... Tuchel would be so ideal, man. Honestly, so ideal because obviously he's on Chelsea in the UEFA Champions League and that. So, yeah.
Got a handle on his best defence. But he doesn't know his best 11. And I think that's an issue. And I also don't think he knows who his best players are. And I think that's an issue. Patrick, thank you for your super chats. Got them all in. Let's see how the poll is doing as well. I can't see the poll in the chat. It might be my YouTube messing up. So if someone can tell me what the poll is. 70% no. So the community have some sense. That is great. And just on the Ollie stuff, before I wrap that up, because we did kind of move off that in a second, on Ollie coming back as manager, spoke about how much I liked him and his soft spot for him and all that. And people will say, you know, it was Vibes FC, PE teacher, all that stuff he gets tarnished with. What?
The problem we had under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was I thought we were too nice as a football club. It's like, oh, Best Mates FC when we brought back the class 92 and that. I think that's where we went horribly wrong when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was manager. You know, we were too nice as a football club. Do you like Ten Hag when he was Ajax, mate? I mean, I wasn't really watching a lot of Ajax. Still can't believe he couldn't beat FC20. I know it's a disgrace, Hayden Cox, isn't it, mate?
Back, I do think Ollie was disrespected, and I think he deserves a lot more credit. You don't beat Manchester City that.
Oh, look, one thing he had was such a good record over Manchester City, yeah, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He was absolutely superb under managing Manchester United against Manchester City. He had a brilliant record against them, so that's one positive I will always remember under Ollie, having such a great record against Man City and all opponents.
Many times, just on vibes. Like, you don't look at how other people have struggled to do it. You know, even Arteta with Arsenal's struggled to do it. Like, Ollie. I think he was one of the most underrated managers in the Prem and also very, very, very disrespected. If Ronaldo hadn't joined, and this isn't a slight on Ronaldo, by the way, I just think he wasn't in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's plans at the time for the way he wanted to progress. Who knows? You know, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer might have gone on and been successful with Manchester United. If De Gea would have scored his penalty, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer might still beat United.
This is the thing. The Bulls ruled as well. Literally, he forced Ronaldo out, and so did the Glazers. Literally, for speaking the truth on that. So the Glazers and the Bulls ruled are an absolute disgrace for doing that. At least Ollie doesn't do PR like you know who does. It's not too cool. Who you think he'll be, mate? I mean, difficult to say, but plenty of managers out there, Abel. We just need to find the right one, don't we? And but the Bulls ruled beat Man City to win the FA Cup. It's a process. Oh gosh, man. Ah, how the mighty and fallen. He's saying, it's a progress. It's a process. Process to what? Process to what? Yeah. Oh yeah, failure.
And have been successful. You know, he was one kick away from winning the Europa League. That's one thing that everyone always had over Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is he couldn't win trophies. We got to semi-finals, we got to finals, could not get it over the line. Whereas Erik ten Hag, okay, yeah, his football isn't great, and it's not. It's actually very poor, to be honest with you. But he's...
Thank you. Another Manchester United fan who admits that the Bulls rules football is very poor. Thank you.
Won back-to-back trophies, and you know he's got that in his locker. If you ask me now, who's played better football at Manchester United as managers, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Erik ten Hag? Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I've enjoyed their games more, 100%.
100%. We're much more an attacking side, honestly. But you look like a producer in that shirt, Mr. Joshy J, you bloody criminal. None of this cheap shit, mate. This is Marks and Sensors. This is like the daddy of all places, Marks and Sensors. This t-shirt is. This is very posh. Like my polo shirts as well. They're from Marks and Sensors. J. Fish Potter for Man United. No, thank you. I honestly believe he won't be the right person. But no, it's in the OS group, and I'll go for the cheap option.
I think Erik ten Hag has the capability to play better football and for me to enjoy it. Whether he'll get the opportunity to do.
The first season, he was playing exciting football in the Bulls ruled, but for some reason, this past season, this season and last season, the football's been atrocious.
Let's see. But Ollie, you know, he was a good manager at points, and I think he was disrespected. But the reason I wouldn't bring him back is I think you're just going backwards. I do think you're going backwards, and I think if you were going to sack Erik ten Hag and start again with a different manager, I wouldn't be going back to Ollie personally. I think there's other managers out there that you'd have to look and get that do have more tactical acumen and have more behind them to reach the top level and win Premier League titles at Manchester United. And I think a lot of people forget the end with Ollie. I think a lot of people forget how bad certain things were. I think a lot of people forget, you know, the style of football that he had playing. Was it exciting? Was it really good to watch at times? Absolutely. His comeback record was brilliant. You know, his away record was very, very good. Granted, obviously, there wasn't crowds in the stadiums because of COVID, and I think that had a massive effect. Liverpool won a title when it was that COVID season. Like, it did have a big effect on things. But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did do a good job for a lot of his time as Manchester United.
Liverpool were just levels above everyone else. You know, Man City lost Laporte that season, and literally Liverpool were just in the League of One that season during when the season was delayed and that. Liverpool were worthy winners. You can't take anything away from them. What do you think of all the people what go on the United stands, mate? I mean, I don't watch a lot of it, to be honest. So I can't really comment. But Mark Goldbridge, I used to like listening to him, but unfortunately now he's more of a PR YouTuber. Because we know why. It's because he's getting paid by the football club.
Manager. But I just wouldn't want to go backwards. I wouldn't want to go into the past. If Erik ten Hag did get sacked, I would be going for an Nagelsmann, something like that. I wouldn't be going for an Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
Facts, yes. Nagelsmann or someone like that. Completely agree. Your polos are very posh. Your polos are very posh, mate. Thank you, Hayden Cox. Appreciate that, mate.
But, it could have worked out differently, and I will give Ollie credit for that. It really could have. And I do think his coaches, McKenna and Carrick, were disrespected at the time. And I think he was disrespected. But if we're moving to the future, I don't think we should be going back into the past. Just if Erik ten Hag isn't the right guy, it doesn't mean Ollie is the right guy to bring back, is what I would say. But very grateful for everything Solskjaer did, and I wish it did work out. It didn't. I want it to work out with Ten Hag. Time will tell if that will happen as well. Patrick says his team had good match plans. McFred cost him a lot. Keel says to suggest Erik ten Hag.
Yeah, that was his downfall as well. Keep picking Scott McTominay and Fred together. I mean, them two just did not link up well together, did they? So that's why fans started calling it McFred and that, because they're literally starting together nearly every game. It is crazy.
Than Ollie is madness. Ollie football was better, but Ten Hag's won trophies. That's where we're at. But anyway, let's move on to Erik ten Hag, because he has been calling out for patience, and he still demands that there is progression. That there is progression, and also he's been backing Bruno Fernandes, who's been coming under a heavy amount of criticism. Also backing Joshua Zirkzee as well. Let's get in to some of his quotes from the press conference. So, I've picked out the important ones.
Yeah, we've already read through that, really. So, yeah, I think we've pretty much covered that video. You, the Man United fans, Webby and O'Neill. You know the Man United fans, Webby and O'Neill on YouTube, mate. Not 100% sure. Don't know if I've heard of them or not, mate, to be honest. But yeah, we've pretty much covered that one. So yeah, let's have a look at. Well, who should we look at next? I mean, probably I'll do a longer show tomorrow night, to be honest. I think I'll call it a night now because, I did quite a long stream yesterday, but like I said, I'll do a longer one tomorrow then. But anyway, thanks so much for your company this evening. As always, it's been fun. Big up to Adam Partridge. Big up to Hayden Cox. Big up to Michael.ChelseaFC. Big up to Daniel Knight 14. Big up to Kai. Big up to Lewis. Big up to F1 Fan CFC 1905. Absolute legends. As always. You guys are literally the reason why I keep on making videos. Thank you all so much for watching. Once again, like I said, I'll do a longer stream tomorrow, but I think we pretty much covered everything tonight. So many thanks for watching. Good night all. Bosh.